difficulties with the internet. So please, if there is a lag and you do miss something, let me know and we can set something up in the next few weeks and I can share more information with you. So welcome to Nuvior's weekly webinar series. We are Nuvior. We are the trusted distributor and we partner up with some of the world's leading pharmaceutical companies to represent their cutting edge technologies and medical devices here in North America. Our mission is to bring to you, our Canadian client, the world's most innovative ideas, technologies, and methods to you, our clients. And here at Nuvior, we proudly showcase products from over 20 renowned countries, our companies. And here is some of our big hitters. Of course, we have Aptos. Aptos is the world leaders for the last 25 years when it comes to suspension threads. And we are so proud to say that they have just won their 7th consecutive best threads at the Aesthetic Medicine World Congress in Monaco. And we also represent Fidia, who we're going to talk about today, also an award winner at the Aesthetic Medicine World Congress, this time for the 2023 Best Regenerative Medicine Device. And of course, here at Nuvior, we want to be your one-stop shop. So if you have a list of all your medical supplies and clinic needs, let us know because we can price match for you, bringing you a one-stop shop. And of course, with beauty devices, we have Gasca. And if you haven't heard of Gasca, they are absolutely amazing. They are little and compact. They are backed with an amazing warranty. They come with an AI generated app to help your clients get the most out of your products. And next week, we'll be talking about Gasca with Age Element. So very exciting week next week. And of course, we here at Nuvia represent two absolutely fabulous medical grade skincare lines. Dermaceutic is a small, concise line with just a few products that are meant to really enhance your medical aesthetic treatments, whether it is prepping the skin, getting that skin in treatment and immediately post-treatment, or if it is your enhancing of maintenance after your treatments. And of course, there's mesoaesthetic. They are backed by science, made in science, and they have everything for that global minded clinic, like here in Canada. We have products and treatments for every skin color and type. And of course, I'm Pina Lee, your clinical education lead here at Nuvior, and I want to support you. Please reach out, text me, WhatsApp me, set up a Zoom call. I know I'm busy, but we can get you hooked up with some education. Today, I want to share with you some information about one of the most amazing PRP devices available in the Canadian market. With high tissue PRP from Fidia, you truly will elevate your plasma rich technology. Now, as we know, platelets are these beautiful little components that are in our blood. And when we take these platelets in our plasma, we create a PRP treatment. And what we're doing is we are getting enough platelets that are concentrated above a baseline, usually anywhere from your blood, and we get these platelets because they are responsible for healing, for regeneration, for releasing those growth hormones that are going to enhance all our treatments. Now, PRP is not just for cosmetics. It is used in cosmetics. It is used in medical and dentistry, even in veterinarian, orthopedics, in surgical, everywhere. This is something because the blood is our natural healer. And the components of the blood each play a crucial role in how our body processes itself and especially how it heals. Now, if you look at the blood in a whole, there isn't a lot of platelets. Approximately 1% of what makes up blood are actually platelets. And this is what we're striving for. Now, red blood cells is not what you're looking for in a PRP treatment, as this is just responsible for oxygen and removing your, carbon dioxide. When we are doing a PRP treatment, we're actually going to remove those red blood cells. Now, white blood cells, those leukocytes, they are there for reducing and regulating inflammation, so making more inflammation or not. And with this, again, depending on your treatment for PRP, in cosmetics, we are just looking for that platelet. But if you're doing more medical treatments, you may want some of those white blood cells. And of course, plasma. Plasma is that liquid portion that carries those beautiful platelets. And in the plasma, it's mostly water, but it also has those nutrients and electrolytes and hormones. And of course, the star of the show, the platelets. They're also known as the thrombocytes, and these thrombocytes are essential. They're not an entire cell, they're just fragments of a cell. And these very tiny and very precious elements are used for clotting of our blood and for helping our body heal. It releases growth factors that are going to promote that tissue repair and regeneration. Now, in the average person, the average amount of platelets for concentrated in the whole blood is any from 150,000 to 300,000 platelets per microliter. In our PRP, our goal is to separate these components of the blood and use a process called centrifugation to isolate these beautiful little platelets so we can use them for our medical and aesthetic applications. Now, of course, it is going to release those growth factors. And the more growth factors you have, like your PDGF and your VGF, this is going to help with that cell proliferation as well as the healing of your wounds. This is going to stimulate stem cell activity, recruiting stem cells to that treatment site. So now we can have faster tissue regeneration in areas like the skin, the scalp and hair follicles, or even the joints if you're doing it in more of a medical situation. When we use PRP, we're also going to be promoting that vascular system, stimulating new blood vessels to form, ensuring that the blood supply for that treatment area is increased, which is also going to assist in tissue repair and healing. And of course, with that anti-inflammatory effect, we can reduce the number of those inflammatory coruscans and that lead to swelling and lead to slower recoveries. So by reducing and blocking these certain inflammatory processes, we're going to have faster recovery time. With PRP, we are enhancing the production of collagen by stimulating those fibroblasts deep in the dermis. We are going to regulate that MMP activity, maintaining a balance that we do want that tissue breakdown, but we also want that remodeling. And that's why we create that trauma in the skin with our microneedling and our PRP. And of course, when we use our PRP, we are going to activate other signaling pathways. And we are going to have an enhancement of everything we need to make tissue repair, collagen production, and of course, regeneration. We're going to influence those immune cells to ensure that there is a lower immune reaction, speeding up that healing process. Now, one thing I do want to speak about when we're talking about the device and how they work is that centrifugation process. Because a lot of professionals believe that any centrifuge can do the job as long as my tubes will fit. But this process is the part where we are separating or isolating those platelets, concentrating them, and removing the unnecessary components. Now, of course, depending on the patient's health and hydration levels, is also going to play a factor. But if you have a proper centrifuge system, you will also get proper amounts. And when we're talking about amounts and the different layers of the PRP, we're talking about how we classify the different portions of that PRP solution. At the surface, because platelets are heavy, you're going to have that portion of plasma that is platelet poor. So yes, it will have platelets in it. This whole portion of PRP has platelets, but the concentrations of platelets will be at the lower end because they go by weight. So at the top, you'll have your platelet poor, beautiful for rejuvenation, massage the extra into the skin. We've got that leukopore, that pure PRP, what we're looking for, that's rich with platelets. And then we have that buffy coat, that leuko-rich PRP that has your platelets and some white blood cells for more medical treatments. Now, why is it so important to have a high concentration of platelet? What makes Fidia stand out to the other ones? Because if you do not have a high concentration of platelet, you will not have as much of that release of growth factors. The more platelets you have, the more growth factors delivered to that area. As well, when we're talking about healing, the higher concentration of platelets will also give you more effective healing. So for those of you who are using a system that are not producing the results you want, it could be the factor of that concentration. And of course, when you combine an amazing PRP system like our Fidia high tissue, it is going to give you much better results when you combine them with your laser and microneedling procedures, advancing and accelerating that healing process time and allowing those growth factors to be delivered properly so your results come out better. Now, when we're talking about the benefits of PRP, we're talking about it is more natural, it's minimally invasive. We're using our own platelets. They are not coming from an outside source. They are not foreign substances. They are from your own body. So the body will use it better. It is a procedure that is safe for all skins and colors. There's very low risk. When you're talking about aging skin, this is a great treatment because it's not over the top aggressive. It can also help with changes to the skin without risking pigmentation changes or allergic reactions because it's from your own body. And the process gives you gradual and long-lasting results, offering this improvement that's progressive. As that collagen is stimulated, they're going to see amazing results even months later. And of course, combining PRP with other treatments like laser or fillers or microneedling is really going to help make those treatments results be more amplified. So when we're talking an aesthetic, beautiful to use to treat fine lines, especially those crow feet, our nasal labia folds. It's going to encourage that collagen remodeling to enhance collagen and elastin, giving you fewer lines and a lifted look. We can help treat those loose skins and wrinkles in delicate areas like the neck or décolleté. And of course, for hand rejuvenation, to reduce those visible veins and wrinkles, this is an ideal and low maintenance treatment. When it comes to scar revision, PRP is become and recognized as a true gold standard because it is going to stimulate that production of type 1 collagen. It helps that modulation of that inflammatory process, helping to break down those fibrous scar tissues and still at the same time promoting healthy growth, stimulating collagen in those atrophic or depressed scars from our acne and things like chickenpox. And after surgery or scars from trauma, PRP accelerates that healing, reduces that scar formation, and will also help with existing scars. When it comes to hyperpigmentation, this is very important that you do have a system that allows you to isolate those platelets and ensure that it does not have those other components. So you can help with pigmentation because if there are red blood cells in it, it can risk and cause even more pigmentation. So for PIH, for H-spots, melasma, and sun damage, this will help to accelerate that production of skin cells, replacing that pigmented skin. And hair restoration is where it really is important to look at your concentration factor. Because when you have a outcome like you do with Fidia, you will find that you will be able to activate those dormant follicles. You can promote that new hair growth and strengthen those existing follicles. It helps again to develop those new blood vessels, bringing more microcirculation, promoting that growth phase caused anagen in the hair growth system, and producing beautiful, thick, and healthy hair shafts. This is a beautiful way to treat that androgenetic alopecia or your stress-induced hair loss. And we can't forget sexual well-being. With our high tissue PRP, we can enhance female wellness with our O-shot vaginal rejuvenation. PRP is injected into specific areas to improve sensitivity, enhance lubrication, and increase sexual satisfaction. With our Fidia high PRP, in particular with its high concentration, you can help with that vaginal atrophy that's associated as we get older and menopause, and of course with hormone changes. It helps with all those mild stress urinary incontinence for better bladder control through that tissue regeneration, making the area act and feel more youthful and less menopausal. When it comes to restoring function and vitality for men, it's commonly known as our P shot. It is that shot that's going to help with um, erectile function by helping that erectile dysfunction like ED, It also helps with Peyronie's disease in that condition where the penis curves and causes discomfort, even pain during sexual encounters or erections. So with that Fidia high tissue PRP, we can increase the sexual performance, increase sensation in the area, and of course, overall improve sexual experience. Now, why did Fidia get into the PRP game? You see, PRP is not new. It's been used for decades. However, with the existing PRP devices out there, there are a lot of concerns. First of all, human error. If steps are complicated, if there's many processes to obtain that PRP, there will be a greater chance of human error. Also, many systems that claim to be closed system truly aren't closed because you have to flip something open, twist something off, and that is going to give you a higher risk of contamination. And then there is the process itself. A lot of these processes do not look for proper isolation of the platelets, giving it a high risk of tainting of red blood cells as well as your white blood cells. And of course, if it's a cumbersome process, if you have to draw a lot of blood from that patient, these are all concerns because I don't want to spend 45 minutes to an hour to extract blood when I'm only going to use up to 10 mils or less of those platelets. And then the most important concern and why Fidia has delivered the amazing high tissue PRP system is that low concentration of platelets. So for this solution, Fidia has given us the high tissue PRP that is designed to optimize that platelet concentration and ensure superior results for both your medical and aesthetic procedures. And why Fidia? Who is Fidia? Fidia is been around since 1946. They are a global leader in regenerative care, aesthetic medicine, optometry and orthopedics, and wound healing. Since 1987, they have treated over 20 million patients. Their focus is on joint care, skin care, even eye care, aesthetic care, and even specialty cares. They are world renowned for their expertise in hyaluronic acid products. And with that same vigor and scientific standards, they've applied this to their Fidia PRP technology as well, ensuring that you get the highest quality, the safest, and most effective PRP available. And as I said, it is the 2023 award winner for their best regenerative aesthetic medicine product. And they put it up against every PRP that they could bring in. So, how does Fidia resolve those common concerns, that risk of contamination, the risk of tainting of your red blood cells, that cumbersome process of extracting those platelets, reducing that human error, and upping the concentration of platelets? They do this with their three advanced patented technologies: cells in motion, nanostatic, and push out precise selection. You see, with Fidia's high tissue PRP breakthrough, they were able to take these three patent technologies and enhance concentrations of platelets within that plasma with a concentration up to 99% pure concentration of platelets. And it does this by its beautiful three technologies, allowing you to separate easily the different portions and yielding you up to 10 mils, if not more, of beautiful plasma with platelets. Now, our first technology is the nano. It is a beautiful protective surface. So our components are made out of an anti-electrostatic medical grade polymer with a non-polished, neo-polished coating. This ensures that those platelets do not adhere or stick to that tube. This is going to maximize that platelet recovery, directly enhancing the effectiveness of that PRP, ensuring that every little platelet is accounted for. And remember when I mentioned earlier that even the type of centrifuge you use makes a difference? That's because of our cells in motion, motion that cares. This is an exclusive soft centrifugation technology. It optimizes that platelet and cell separation and platelet concentration because it's just spinning it fast enough to get the job done without overdoing the job and causing detriment to those beautiful little cell components. Because remember, a platelet is not an entire cell, it's fragile and its integrity needs to be preserved. So, with our cells in motion technology, you get a proper spin in 8 minutes, but just strong enough to preserve those beautiful platelets. And of course, our final technology patent is our push out precise selection. I love this because if you can press down on a syringe or draw up on a syringe, you can successfully deliver a PRP treatment with our Fidia high tissue. This system allows a laminar flow selection for precise selection right from the collection tube to your application syringe without activating those platelets. So you can draw up the poor or the pure or the leuko-rich as well. And with this technology comes all the safety to back up that non contamination and giving low risk to human error. For all our push out device has self-sealing filters, acting like a gatekeeper during that PRP preparation. It's going to block out those unwanted components like our red blood cells. It's going to prevent backflow and the risk of contamination. And it's going to maintain that purity and effectiveness of that PRP. With their connectors, they also have the cell and filters, they have those self-sealing connectors. So these are going to work like a link between the different parts of the system. One opening and the other one locks, allowing an seamless transfer through that whole process of the blood in the system, designed to be secure with a leak-proof connection and ensuring that it remains a closed system from the start to the application on the patient. And this is also going to help you with when you're doing your selection. As you'll notice, this push-out system has an embolus that has a concave design. So that means as you push down on your syringe to retrieve your precious platelets, and you go down to that buffy layer, it is concave. So if you do push just a little too far, it does take time for it to enter into that platelet, reducing that risk of error as well as contamination and preventing the harvesting of those unwanted components of that blood. Now, this is, as I said, one of the safest but easy, user-friendly system. It eliminates the use of needles or cannulas to retrieve that PRP selection, whether you want the poor or rich or just the pure. It is going to reduce that contamination by improving that safety of the PRP, and it ensures that you are only retrieving those platelets with those growth factors in your final product. One easy push of our system gets you the exact amount of platelets and plasma that you require for your specific treatment. And what's beautiful about Fidia is everything comes complete. Fidia provides a high tissue system that is complete and disposable for each patient. It all comes in a all-in-one system. You have one comprehensive kit to extract and one kit with all the things you need to perform your PRP. Simple for your inventory, simple for keeping up on what you need for every client, one patient, one box. And to conclude, I do want to say with our Fidia high tissue PRP system, it truly does elevate the PRP therapy as it gives you high platelet concentration, offering 99% platelet concentration with this advanced centrifuge technology, ensuring precise separation while preserving those platelets' integrity to give you maximum efficacy. It gives you that beautiful streamlined process with very few steps and fast preparation time. This allows you to customize to meet specific procedures requirements with the concentration that you require. I do want to thank you all for joining us today. And I want you to know if you are thinking of bringing PRP into your treatment, it's a great time to do it because we are opening up accounts. You get 10 PRP kits and $500 towards your centrifuge. So you get everything for $19.50. And you can start right now today making money with your 10 kits. If you already are a Fidia account holder, when you buy 5 kits this week, we are going to throw one kit in for free. So please remember, as a new applicant for the Fidia account, you do not need a code. For existing Fidia account holders, use your code as it's stated here to receive one free kit with every purchase of 5. I would like to thank you all for joining us. I'm Pina Lee. You can reach me by text, by phone, by WhatsApp, or email. And if you do have any questions today, please share in that chat box and I'll be glad to answer you. So I see we have no questions. I want to thank you all for joining us again. And please stay tuned next week as we are going to be delivering a beautiful presentation on Age Element and Gasca products. So thank you for joining us and have yourself a wonderful Monday. Bye-bye.